We are neither nutritionists or medical providers. The topics discussed on this show are from our own research and experiences. Please consult your medical provider before attempting anything discussed on this show. Welcome to another episode of Sjogren Strong.
This is Brian.
And this is Lupe.
And this is your weekly show discussing living an active and healthy lifestyle despite a diagnosis of Sjogren syndrome.
And today we want to talk about removing negativity from your life.
And we're going to start off with a quote from Forbes magazine by a Quora contributor named Fabian Vandenberg. And it reads, "If you constantly experience negative emotions, you will be subject to stress and more sensitive to stressful situations. Being positive is the best defense against stress after all."
Negativity can be anything. It can be family, people, friends, things, situations, relationship. But most importantly, I believe it's mindset. So identify the people or things in your life that are negative. I'm going to give an example. A few months ago, I went into all my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram. That's really all I have. And I started cleaning it up. I started with people that just post negative things, right? So I did that because just seeing the post, whether sometimes it wasn't even negative, it was just the person that bothered me, right? Because they really have nothing positive to say. And that goes the same for this person in gatherings, whether friends, it could be family. If the person has nothing positive to say and all they say is negative stuff and it kind of brings you down, just stay away from them. You know, that's what I did. And I'm talking in particular, it was one person. And in the beginning, it was a little stressful. They're going to get mad at me. And now thinking back, actually over the weekend, I just felt a lot of peace because I don't see posts anymore. And that's helped me a lot.
You know, and this can also be attributed to the workplace. And I know, especially in today's society, it's about acceptance and not hurting anyone else's feelings. However, if you've been in the workforce for a while, you've been in situations to where you've had to work with or near somebody that was this individual that just exuded negativity. And I'm of the opinion it is okay to have an adult conversation and just ask that individual to stay away from you unless it's work related. And remove yourself from situations to where they're telling the stories that don't apply to work and that they're not positive and they're not inspiring. And I feel it's okay to take that. You need to take care of yourself first. And by removing negativity from your life, you're taking better care of yourself. There's a quote by Jim Rohn that reads, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And I kind of take that to heart, and I do my best to surround myself with people that are better than me, that I feel are better than me, people that I can learn from, people that inspire me or motivate me. And this is something I've done for years. And if you're not that person, if I don't feel I can learn from you, and I guess that might come across a little harsh. I have people that I feel I mentor, that I take under my wing. However, I do my best to spend a considerable amount of time with people I feel I can learn from, people that I feel can make me better.
I want to take it back to the workplace. If you work in a place where it's negative, for example, me, I'm going to give an example, okay? I try to avoid water cooler talk because it's all negative. It's all about talking about people. So-and-so did this. Oh my God, did you see what they were wearing? It's all negative, and I don't want to have anything to do with that. Sometimes people, they just gossip about whatever, nothing to do with work. So what I do to remove myself from the situation, because obviously you're at work, you can't just get up and leave. I put earbuds in my ears, right? And I'm listening to music, the radio, just anything. Sometimes they're just in my ears because they kind of drown out the gossip. and I just work. And then they leave you alone because they think you're listening to something. So, I mean, that's helped me a lot. That's an option if it's allowed at your place of work.
It's funny you say that. I used to have a Bluetooth ear device at a desk I worked at. And when we were on the phone, the boom arm would swing down in front of our mouths. And when we were off the phone, we would put it up to let people know we weren't on the phone and it was okay to approach us to discuss business. Well, we would see this one guy coming that was this negative individual who would waste a lot of time, and we'd see him coming and just put the boom arm down and he'd walk on by, which was awesome. It worked well.
That's awesome. Sometimes you're having a conversation with someone, you like them, you get along, you're having a conversation with someone, and here comes this Debbie Downer, and she just wants to put in her 2 cents, and it's annoying.
And if your name happens to be Debbie, we are not talking about you. It's just a general term we're utilizing to illustrate the negative individual.
Yeah. Speaking of work, I have an announcement to make. By the time this episode drops on Wednesday, I will have given my 2 weeks notice. I'm going to go work for a place that has a much more inviting corporate culture. People are friendly, better working environment, which is really important for me. And I've had a lot of stress in my life lately, work related. And I feel a wise man once told me, Mr. Brian, he said, the best time to look for a job is when you have one. And I wasn't really looking. It just kind of fell on my lap and the opportunity was perfect. And so I'm very excited. And I'm going to have the opportunity to work with someone that I worked with 10 years ago, which is the person that referred me, and she had nothing but great things to say about me. And it's because of that person that I got a job offer, and I'm very thankful. And I'm thinking of things. I need to get her something special, so I have to really think about it. But yeah.
For those of you who don't know, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the show, I spent time in the Marine Corps, and leadership has always been something I'm very interested in. I read a lot of books on leadership, and Lupe and I and other people, other friends and peers, we discuss leadership styles and, what's going on at work and things like that. Some of the things that happen at jobs just blows my mind, because it seems like there's a lot of people who get promoted into a leadership role because they have more time at the job, not necessarily that they are a leader or a good leader, nor do a lot of companies spend time educating supervisors and managers on how to be good leaders.
Or a people person.
or even a people person for that matter. And, one of the books I'm reading right now, they said in it, nobody goes to work to be managed. People go to work to be led. And that kind of struck a chord with me as well.
I want to say to you, Brian, thank you so much, because I know that I've unloaded a lot on you over the past several weeks, and you've been my rock. And I really couldn't do what I do without you. So I just wanted to say thank you.
# Team Lupe.
I appreciate you very much.
And you. All right, enough sappiness there. No Kleenex required from this point out.
Okay. Did we get off topic? Maybe.
Just a little bit. I think that there's one other thing that's very important to discuss here when it comes to negativity and positivity. We all have conversations with ourselves in our own head. And I've done it where I can negotiate the garage in the dark. I don't need to turn the light on. And this is obviously a mental conversation. And then the wheel on the car is cranked out instead of straight, and I bang into it. And, it hits right at my knee and kind of bends my knee back, and it hurts a lot. And mentally, I start cussing at myself, calling me things I'm not going to say on the air. But that's self-criticism or self-critique. And I think it's very important to slowly train ourselves to be constructive when we're having these talks to ourselves in our head. And I don't want to come off like, I wake up every day talking to myself in my head. But when we're being negative in our own minds, we're not helping ourselves to feel better or be positive, and we are causing additional stress in our life. So we want to ensure that what movie was that where they're looking in the mirror? I am good, I am great, I am beautiful, or something along those lines. And
I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
I'm not saying we need to go that far. Be mindful of what you think about yourself. And we all have good days. We all have bad days. I understand that, and I get it. And I have bad days myself. But we want to motivate ourselves to be better humans. We don't want to be that negative thing somebody else is removing from our life.
Negative people or situations can cause stress, bring you down, cause depression. I mean, it's just a downward spiral. So do what you can. And it's not always easy, but do what you can. Try to eliminate it. Walk away. I want peace in my life because stress really, really bites. So I'm doing everything I can to remove it.
Agreed.
The one thing that we cannot control is how much time there's in a day. So do not waste one precious minute of it on something that is not fulfilling. If it's not bringing peace or joy into your life, eliminate it. Don't worry about hurting people's feelings. You matter. Take care of yourself first. Until next time, drink constantly and stay hydrated.